John 26, we're going to read through 8. Then Simon Peter came following him, and he went into the tomb. This is how the story goes. Mary goes back and tells the disciples that the tomb is empty. And so John, the author of this book, and Peter go running to the tomb. And John beats Peter there. John gets there first, but he stops, and he stoops in and looks. Then Simon Peter came following John, and went into the tomb. He saw the linen cloth lying there, and the face cloth, which had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the linen cloth, but folded up in a place by itself. Then the other disciple, John's talking about himself here, then the other disciple who had reached the tomb first also went in, and he saw and believed. This is Jesus' best friend. Now, if anybody knows that you're not God, it's your best friend. All right? They've talked with you on the phone. They've spent time at your house. You rode with them in the car. They've heard what you say when you get cut off in traffic. All right? That your friends know you. Okay? Your friends know you. They spend time with you. They hear what you say about your parents. All right? It's not good. If anybody knows that you are not God, it's your best friend. If anybody would be the last person in the world to worship you as God, it would be your best friend. But here in the scriptures, we see John go from being Jesus' best friend to worshiping him as God. What would it take? What would it take for you to worship your best friend as God? Not only that, in the accounts of the early church, we see Mary, the mother of Jesus, counted among them. The second person, if anybody knows you're not God, it's your mama. You know what I'm saying? Your mama knows. Your mama knows that you are not God. But Mary, the mother of Jesus, worships him as God. Not only that, his two brothers, James and Jude, not only worshiped Jesus as God, but went on to be pastors and write books of the Bible. Why? Why in the world? What would it take for you to worship your sibling as God? Here's what it would take. It would take you watching them die on a cross, be put into a grave, wrapped with hundreds of pounds of spices and linen, and then to miraculously see them resurrect from the dead and ascend into heaven. This is the only thing that makes logical sense. That they changed the date of the worship. That all of a sudden his friends and family are worshiping him as God. What else can explain this? Christianity has a rock-solid foundation. That Jesus Christ is no longer in the grave. That the tomb is not filled with bones. That Jesus Christ is alive today. What does that mean for us? I've just given you historical, circumstantial evidence. What does that mean? What does that mean for us? So, Jesus Christ is resurrected. And here's what that means. Jesus Christ is resurrected. And that changes everything. It changes everything. Here's what that means. That means that one day, you will stand before God. Jesus is alive in heaven right now. So that means one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 50, you will die and you will stand before Jesus because he's not dead in the tomb. He's in heaven waiting on you. And so one day you will stand before God and you will give an account of your life. So what does it mean? What does it matter that Jesus Christ is resurrected? It changes everything. It changes the way that you talk. It changes the way that you act around other people. It changes the way that you treat your parents. It changes the way that you treat your friends. It changes what college you're going to go to and what friends you're going to have. It changes everything. The fact that Jesus Christ is alive. How are you living your life? Are you living your life as if one day you will stand before God? I would say the majority of people don't. They don't live their life as if they're going to stand before God. They live their life like Jesus' bones are still in the tomb, like his body is still there, and they won't stand before him. But the truth is, Jesus Christ did resurrect, and we will stand before him. And we will give an account of our life. So how are you living your life? Jesus Christ resurrected, and He defeated sin, and He defeated death. Here's what that means for us. Jesus Christ defeated sin. That there are some of you in here who feel dirty, you feel shameful because of the things that you've done in your life. Guess what? Jesus Christ, when He resurrected, defeated sin, and He can forgive you of those sins. And you no longer have to feel dirty and shameful and gross. Jesus Christ can forgive you because He resurrected. Not only that, He defeated death. And here's what that means. That means that our Christian brothers and sisters, maybe it's your grandmother, maybe it's your parent, maybe it's a friend. If they're a Christian, guess what? You will be reunited with them in heaven. One day, when you die, you will meet Jesus. You will go into heaven, and there they will be. You will hear them laugh again. You will talk with them. You will spend time with your Christian brothers and sisters again. Jesus Christ defeated death. He's coming back to get us, and we will go and be with Him. Here's what that also means. That we'll be spending time with our Christian brothers and sisters. We need to be worried about the eternity of others. That Jesus Christ resurrected, that He is going to come back and get us. We will go to heaven. We will stand before Him and give an account, and some will go to heaven, and some will go to hell. This is God's justice. We need to be deathly worried about other people's eternity. Why do we play the music here that we play? To bring people in. Why do we have the look of this room that we have? To bring people in. Why do we do the things that we do? Why do I beg you every single week? Please bring your friends. Please bring your friends. Please bring your friends who don't know Christ, because I am deathly worried about their eternity, as you should be. Because we will stand before God. And that makes me so scared for some of you. How are you living your life? Are you living your life in such a way that you are pushing people towards Christ? Or are you living your life in a way that is pulling people away from Him? Now, some of you might say, well, I really don't do either. I mean, I'm not really pushing anybody towards Christ. I mean, I don't invite people to church, or, tell them to read the Bible, or I've never shared my faith with them, or I don't tell them that I'm praying for them. I just don't say anything. I don't tell them to worship goats or anything. I'm not pushing them away from Christ. That's just weird. I don't tell them to sacrifice babies. That's gross. I'm in the middle. Wrong. You can't be in the middle. Either your life is pushing people towards Christ, or what you do, say, act, think, and feel is pulling people away from Christ. You should be deathly afraid and worried about your friends. Where are they going when they die? What happens to them? Jesus Christ is resurrected. That means God is alive today, and we will all stand before Him, including your friends who don't know Christ. Lastly, today, Jesus is alive. Today, Jesus is alive. That means right now, if you start praying, Jesus can hear you. That means that right now, Jesus is worthy of our worship, our praise, and our adoration. He is worthy of you to devote your life to. Jesus is alive. If Jesus is dead in the grave, don't waste your time. Jesus is alive today. He resurrected. He ascended into heaven. He can hear our prayers, and He is worthy of our worship and our adoration. One day, you will stand before God, because He is alive. How are you living your life in the light of Jesus Christ's resurrection? Would you guys pray with me?